So if you don't always remember what you always study, you are not stupid. When you ever feel like you are stupid, try to remember you learned how to eat, you learned how to walk, you learned how to run, you learned how to ride a bicycle, you learned how to ride a bike, and there are so many things that you have learned that you don't right now recognize that you have learned because you don't notice those things at some moment when you don't understand something, or when you understand something and you literally forget it, you always think that you are stupid. There is no one who is stupid. You just have to learn how you learn. That is the most important thing. So in this video, I'm going to show you the best way that you should always learn so that you never forget anything that you learn. You should watch this video step by step and understand each and everything that I'm going to tell you so that when you learn something, never ever ever forget about it, especially if that thing matters to you, just like walking. If it is really important to you, you will not forget about it. The only problem is that sometimes you learn what is not important to you. So if it is important to you and you really feel like you really need it, this is the best way that you are going to learn and you will never forget about it. But before we understand, we should learn what are the types of learning that we normally do. There are two main types of learning. The first is called active learning and the second is called passive learning. Now most of us go for what we call passive learning. Passive learning is like you are consuming without participating. That is an example of sitting down and listening to a lecture. As your teacher is talking, you are listening. Just like you are watching this video, this is an example of passive learning. Now, reading is passive. The first type of passive learning is reading. The second type is hearing words, maybe an audio. And the third type is actually looking at pictures. Maybe you are looking at just a picture. And guess what? These three types of learning, reading shows that in 2 weeks, 10% of what you have learned, you are only going to remember 10% of what you have learned when you have only read. Then in 2 weeks, if you just see the picture and hear the words, in 2 weeks you're only going to remember 20 or 30% of what you have learned. Now that was the research that was done in 1969 about learning, so you should not go and learn about it, but you will only remember 30% of what you would remember by passive learning. Now also, when it comes to watching a movie or looking at an exhibit or watching a demonstration, watching anything on that location, when it comes to watching things like a video, like how you are watching this one, you retain 50% of it. It means after 2 weeks, I expect that 50% of what I'm going to be telling you in this video, you will be remembering it. And that is actually also passive form of learning. Now what is the active form of learning that you should take on, which is the best? Now the active form of learning is when you are participating in a discussion, you are giving a talk, or you are doing a dramatic presentation. For example, those drama groups, I remember when they wanted to really ask to understand the impact of global warming in schools, they brought the debates on global warming, climate change, and what. And when I can remember when I was participating in that debate, how I was so much emotionally attached to my environment. And up to now, I remember the importance of conserving the environment because of that debate. Now it means that we are engaged in that learning, we are participating, we are consuming and also giving out. We get to learn more and we remember what we have learned. So things like participating in a discussion, that is like a debate, or just discussing with someone, or making a discussion groups. That's why discussion groups are so important in schools. Even outside here, when you are learning something, you should have a discussion group. The same research that was done in 1969 shows that once you participate in a real world experience, in any activity in the real world experience, once you participate in it, what we are calling active learning, you are going to retain 90% of what you have learned. Now we have not talked about 100%, but 90% is much better than retaining only 10% from just reading. So what are you supposed to do? You are going to do the following things, because the problem now you have is that the way they teach you in class, the way they teach you in schools, obviously the way they taught us was worse than the way they teach you, because ours was all about reading, memorizing, cramming the work, and you go for exams. But right now they are trying to introduce the practical work a bit. Although it is not implemented well, I feel like this is the best way that you guys will be learning in schools, because you are getting to do those practical parts of things. But you who is under Givian Academy, you come and watch Givian Academy videos and you want to be extraordinary in your class, you want to be above everyone, obviously you cannot watch this video for nothing. We need to give you that extra tip that is going to make you extraordinary, because you are doing extraordinary work by coming to Givian Academy. Also, if you want to really embrace Givian Academy very well, get yourself a shirt of Givian Academy like this in white or black and just enjoy the journey. So get make comment section or get us and let's join this. Now, what are you going to do to be extraordinary, to remember almost everything that you learn? I mean 90% of everything you learn. This is what you are going to do. Now, for that particular topic that you are supposed to learn, that particular thing that you know you are supposed to learn, maybe in class, or you are going to use it and it is very important to you, you are going to use AI. You heard me right, AI. Don't tell your teacher, but even if you tell him, this is not illegal. This is very, very, very normal. So you're going to use AI, either ChatGPT or Deep6. If you don't know AI, please, are you living in a dead rock? You should be knowing AI by now if you have internet. Now, I'm going to give you, not everyone knows how to use AI. Very many people are using it in the wrong way, and it is not going to help very many people. But for you now, because you want to learn something and remember it, I'm going to give you a prompt that you are going to be using every single time you want to learn something. Now, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be going to ChatGPT and type this very prompt. When you go to ChatGPT, you are going to actually type in this prompt that you are seeing on your screen. Now, the prompt that you are seeing on your screen, you are just going to add a particular topic that you are using. Now, this is the prompt that is saying, act as a subject teacher, a subject expert, and a teacher. I'm a student learning the topic of you. Now, you insert any topic that you are learning right now, and I want you to, you are telling it, you are commanding it to break the topic into progressive subtopics from basics to advanced. Each subtopic explain the concept in simple terms. Provide one or more practical activities or exercise I can do to learn and practice this concept effectively. You are telling it to give you at least a practical exercise that you can do, because so many teachers or so many people teach us and they don't give us practical examples or practical exercise that you can do, so that that thing sticks in your mind. And then focus on, you are telling it to focus on activities that encourage doing, building, experimenting, or applying, not just reading or memorizing. The output should look like this. Now, I've given you an example of the output. You don't need to worry about this. Now, if you need all this document, please, you can comment in the comment section, and then in Givian Academy, we are to make you extraordinary in your community. So if you really want to be extraordinary, definitely we are going to send the document for you. And comment, this is the comment. So when you copy it, just copy it like this and come to ChatGPT. Just know I use ChatGPT a lot, like a lot. So let me start a new chat. You come to ChatGPT, start a new chat. It will look like something of this kind. All right, so let me first do this. Okay. All right, so when you come to ChatGPT, you are going to paste in that. When you paste in the prompt that I said, but where they are saying insert the topic here, we are going to insert our topic. Now, which topic should I insert? Let me insert topics of maybe, which topic should I really insert? Let me insert the topic like photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Please, you can use this to learn anything: biology, chemistry, word, photosynthesis. So when I use photosynthesis and I click yes, so this is what it's going to do. It is going to break down everything that you need. So in a few seconds, it should give us everything that we need. So it's thinking and it's going to break it down so that you follow this. Now, if you're learning about photosynthesis, absolutely it is going to tell you what is photosynthesis. It is going to explain photosynthesis for you, the definition of photosynthesis. But for you to understand photosynthesis briefly, it is going to give you a practice activity. Now, this practice activity, once you do it, don't be lazy. Make sure you do it. Now, this practice activity is the one that is going to make you understand what photosynthesis is. So it is making you observe a plant's breathing. Take two healthy green plants, submerge one in water and under direct sunlight, and leave the other in the shade. Watch for tiny bubbles of the leaf in the sunlight. That's oxygen from the photosynthesis. Now, it is telling you that when you pick two leaves, actually, this is so amazing. I didn't know this. This is practical. We memorized, for us in schools, we crammed photosynthesis, but you don't need to cram photosynthesis. Come to AI, come to ChatGPT, use this prompt I've given you, and let it tell you what practical activity can you do so that that thing sticks in your mind. So when you tell it what, or you put in photosynthesis, it's going to give you the definition of photosynthesis, and it is telling you, okay, for you to understand that yes, plants do breathe, the oxygen, it's telling you that's oxygen. Don't just believe it. It's telling you, take 2 healthy green leaves, submerge one in water under direct sunlight, put it in water and then put it under direct sunlight, because we need that sunlight under photosynthesis, and then leave the other in shade, leave the other where there is no sunlight. Yes, because photosynthesis has to occur when there is sunlight. Now watch for tiny bubbles on the leaf in the sunlight. Now when you see those tiny bubbles coming in the leaf that is the sunlight, I'm telling you, no one will not make you believe that photosynthesis happens when there is sunlight. You will always remember that because you have seen it. That is called a real world experience, and that's what we call active learning. It's not passive learning, and that's what makes the difference. This is active learning. You are actively learning. You understand the difference? So when it comes to the second thing, it's going to tell you subtopic 2. It is because subtopic 1 was definition. You need to define it. Subtopic 2, raw materials for photosynthesis. Now it is going to explain the raw materials for photosynthesis for you. Do you need a teacher to understand these things? At Givian Academy, we say this is a new generation and it deserves new ways of learning. It's a generation that does not need to wait for a teacher. It's a generation that goes ahead of the teacher. It's a generation of creativity. You need to be creative. In this generation, you don't need to wait for anyone. You don't need anyone's permission. You have to get ahead of people. Now, especially if you come at Givian Academy. If you're a student of Givian Academy, or you watch any video of Givian Academy, you should be ahead of almost anyone in your community, or be among the 1%. Anyway, let's see. When it breaks down the second one, raw materials for photosynthesis, it explains plants need 3 key ingredients for photosynthesis. It tells you sunlight, carbon dioxide, water. It tells you these ingredients enter the plant through stomata. Now it breaks down it's for you, very simple terms. You don't need to read a lot of books. And then it has to give you a practical exercise, practical activity. You say breathe into the bag, blow air into the bag. Please, I don't want to go into deep, but again, we just did photosynthesis. I told you, once you want to do more, you just come to our prompt here that I'll be giving you. Once you want to do any other topic, come to this prompt here, copy any topic that you want, whether it is mathematics or what. Let me see. Let's try it with we are going to try it with chemistry. Okay, do this. I don't know what it's going to give me with chemistry, but I want to try the periodic table. Okay, you copy it and copy it. This is the thing that you should always be having with you for any topic that you want to learn. So I want to try it. You come here and open a new chart, and then I'm going to paste into ChatGPT this. So this in the topic, I want to write something like why shouldn't I write? Should I try mathematics or chemistry, or any topic? Even if you want to maybe a business topic or what, anything you want to learn. Okay, let me break it. Let me do something like entrepreneurship, starting as business or entrepreneurship. Okay, let me just type entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur. This word is very hard. Entrepreneurship. All right, entrepreneurship. Okay, let's just insert, and then it needs to give me like breakdown of entrepreneurship. So this is the breakdown of, hey, let's break down entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? And then it gives you what I love is this is the most important thing. This is the most important. So it's saying write down 3 things around what people pay for, like food delivery, phone charging services, etc. Now you can even become an entrepreneur by teaching yourself. So at this moment in time, before I close this video, allow me just turn and tell you our motto at Givian Academy. So this is our motto that we normally tell. I think you can see this is our motto. You can see it well. Okay, that's our motto. And if you do not see it well, it says new generation, new learning. And with learning, we know that we can impact the world. And with learning, with proper learning, we can impact as many people as we can. To become a member of Givian Academy, you can just join us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube. You can also join us at nas.io. The links in the description below. But also, to become a paid member, you can, or a proud member in your community, you can get yourself this shirt, and it comes in black and white. Just make your orders around the link in the description below so that we can link up with you. Wow, new generation, new learning. I love this. Thank you. Let me meet you in the next video.